the name that changed everything. There is a name for God that only one person in all of Scripture dared to speak: ROI, the God who sees me. It was not spoken by a prophet, not by a king, not even by one of the patriarchs. It was spoken by a woman, a foreigner, a slave, a woman alone in the desert, Hagar. This is her story. Chapter 1. In the House of Promise. Long before the tribes of Israel marched through wilderness, long before laws were written on stone, there lived a man named Abram, chosen by God, marked for promise. With his wife Sarai, he had followed the voice of the Lord out of the land of Ur into Canaan. God had promised Abram descendants as numerous as the stars. But years passed, and Sarai's womb remained silent. No child, no heir, no sign. The ache of disappointment hardened into despair. And in that despair, Sarai made a decision that would change everything. "Take my maidservant Hagar," she said. "Perhaps I can build a family through her." And so Hagar, an Egyptian servant, young, quiet, obedient, was handed over as property. No one asked her what she wanted. Chapter 2. Used and forgotten. Hagar did as she was told. She became pregnant. But with the child came something unexpected: dignity. For the first time in her life, she carried something that could not be taken from her. And Sarai, watching her servant walk a little taller, grew bitter. She lashed out with harsh words. Her jealousy became cruelty. She blamed Hagar for her own shame. And Abram? He looked away. "She is your servant," he told Sarai. "Do with her as you please." So Sarai did. She treated Hagar so badly that the young woman did the unthinkable. She ran into the wilderness, pregnant, alone, with nothing. Chapter 3. The Desert Encounter. The desert between Canaan and Egypt was not a place for survival. It was a place of sand, of thirst, of silence. A place where forgotten people went to die. But as Hagar knelt near a spring on the road to Shur, trembling, exhausted, afraid, something happened. She was seen, not by a man, not by a tribe, not by a rescuer, but by an angel of the Lord. "Hagar, servant of Sarai," the voice called. "Where have you come from, and where are you going?" Tears streamed down her face. "I am fleeing from my mistress," she whispered. The angel replied, "Return to her. Submit to her. For I will increase your descendants so greatly they will be too numerous to count. You will have a son. You shall call him Ishmael, for the Lord has heard your misery." And in that moment, Hagar, this lowly, broken woman, did what no one had done before. She named God. She said, "You are ROI, the God who sees me." And then she added, "I have now seen the one who sees me." Chapter 4. The first to name him. In all the patriarchal records, only one woman dares to name God. Not Eve, not Sarah, not Rebecca or Rachel, only Hagar. Only the woman pushed to the edge of the map, whose voice had never mattered. Only the one the world tried to erase. This is the paradox of God's kingdom. He sees the unseen. He hears the unheard. He loves the unloved. In Hagar's desert, God shows up not as a judge, but as a witness, and he promises her not just survival, but legacy. Chapter 5. Hagar returns. Hagar returned to Abram and Sarai, not because the abuse was holy, but because the promise was real. She bore a son, and Abram named him Ishmael, just as the angel had instructed. And for a time, peace remained. But peace is fragile where jealousy lives. Years later, after Sarai, now Sarah, gave birth to Isaac, everything changed again. Sarah saw Ishmael laughing with Isaac, and she was filled with rage. "Send away this slave woman and her son," she demanded. Abraham was torn. Ishmael was his son, his blood. But God told him, "Do not be distressed. I will make a nation from the son of the slave woman as well. And so once more Hagar was cast out, into the desert, with her son, with a skin of water and nothing else. Chapter 6. The Cry of the Boy. This time, Hagar didn't run. She was sent into the wilderness of Beersheba, where the sun is cruel and hope withers like cracked reeds. The water ran out. And when the boy began to cry, Hagar did something heartbreaking. She laid him under a bush and walked away. "I cannot watch the boy die," she said. And then she wept. But God, El Roi, had not forgotten. God heard the boy crying, Scripture says. And the angel of God called to Hagar from heaven, "What is the matter, Hagar? Do not be afraid. Lift the boy up, take him by the hand, for I will make him into a great nation." Then God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. She filled the skin and gave the boy a drink, and he lived. Chapter 7. The God who keeps seeing Hagar raised Ishmael in the desert of Paran. He became strong, a skilled archer. And though she had no tribe, no home, no blessing spoken by men, God had already spoken over her. She was seen, she was heard, she was known, and her son would become the father of nations, just like Isaac. Epilogue. The God of the desert. We often think God only speaks on mountains, at burning bushes, in parted seas, through thunder and prophets, but he also speaks by springs, to weeping women, to those the world discards, to ones carrying burdens no one else sees. El Roi still watches. He sees single mothers, runaways, abused hearts, invisible people in powerful systems. He sees your wilderness. And if you listen, somewhere near your heartbreak, there may be a spring. Final message: you are not invisible. If you feel abandoned, overlooked, pushed aside, remember Hagar, the first person in the Bible to name God. El Roi, the God who sees. He saw her, he sees you, and that changes everything.